nonsense. They colonized just. Do you know how many countries that were colonized? Do you know that Ethiopia was never colonized? How good are they today? Ethiopia was never colonized. How much better are they than us today? It's always this. Was Singapore not colonized? Has it? Una know they tire for this nonsense when they talk up and down. Please, my
good morning.
How are you?
Good morning, Daddy. Good morning, Daddy. Please, I'm doing very fine, thank you.
Good morning.
I'm doing very well, thank you. I like the angle that you are taking today, so that's why I joined. I like the angle you are taking today because for me, I always look at the cup half full, not half empty. We are quick to blame the government, but we do not hold ourselves accountable. You talked about China in the 60s, but there were drastic actions that China took in the 70s. Now, China did what is called the one-child policy in the 70s. And it was just in 2015 that they stopped the one-child policy. It was just in 2015. So that means they were growing at an astronomical pace because if you cannot control your population, I always say this, population is one of the first issues that we have in Nigeria. If you cannot control your population, how then do you budget for the people? How do you budget for the people? Nigeria has a growth rate of 3.5 million people per year. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, everyone. Every year, the people that die and the people that they born, the difference is 3.5 million. Now, Nigeria's population was 45 million in 1960. Today, we are doing 210. Now, these countries that you are calling are advanced countries. The countries I just named now, the top 10 countries are advanced countries. Now, there was an article I read 2 years back. They said these particular countries, in the next 50 years, their population will only grow by 5%. But remember, their wealth will be increasing. Because now with the inflation that is going on all around the world, with the turmoil that is going on all around the world, people's wealth are increasing because inflation is increasing. So people's wealth are increasing. After China did that one-child policy, China did what is called a free market economy. They opened their walls to everybody. Come and invest in us. We'll lower our policies, our regulations, and all that. Well, and then the third one was MSMEs, supporting MSMEs. However, there was something that happened that, what's it called? The Western world or the capitalists, they wanted to do the same thing that they were doing to Africans or African countries, but it boomeranged. Daddy Freeze, I want you to investigate this, research or the guys online. In 2001, when that September 11 incident happened, there was a paradigm shift. So they now started signing deals. World Trade Organization and all that started pinning China into these things to see how they could control China or contain China. However, that economics did not work, and China is where it is today. But remember, China has already done the groundwork. China doesn't have religion, or they have religion, but they don't have the Abrahamic religion. It is somewhat banned in China. Abrahamic religion meaning Christianity, Islam, and Judaism.
Yeah.
You don't have it there, you have Buddhism. Because if you look at these stats that you just threw out now, the most religious countries in the world are the poorest.
Straight up. Straight up.
Like, go online now, everyone. Go online now, everyone, and check it. Nigeria, we are 98% religious. So 98 people out of every 100 people is either practicing Christianity, Islam, or traditional worship. So go now and check it and just look at poorest countries and this. And then also look at countries that have the most resources. For example, they said in the Congo, they estimated that the wealth underground, like the wealth in their country, is to the tune of $26 trillion. I think that's even an understatement. That's what's down there. So would they want that place to develop? It was in Congo DR 2 years ago that they said gold was on the surface. People were going there to pick gold on the surface. Then the government had to come and get the soldiers and all those things, and it was a big deal back then. Nigerians, let me talk about Nigerians here. We need to love Nigeria. We need to love ourselves. Nigerians don't love Nigeria. Most Nigerians don't love Nigeria. Daddy Freeze, I will tell you for free. Most Nigerians don't love Nigeria because if you love Nigeria, you see that culture of corruption that is deeply entrenched inside of us. When somebody offers you something or you want to offer that person something, you say no. Everybody here can talk about how the government is bad, how the government is this, how the government is that. But ask yourself this question: who put these government people there? Is it not you and I? Secondly, didn't these people come from our society? They didn't come from us. They came from us. We are the bad followers. Remember, change can only come through voting and legislation. It's only two ways. Even if you go and do revolution or something, you still come back to the table. It's just like war.
Because the what is it called? The referendum will remain the same. At the end of the day, unless you're able to change the constitution, you go to war and come back, put somebody else. The constitution is the same constitution.
Yeah, you will sit down. Even in war, there was one war that happened. It was in the it was 300 or 400 BC. I want to go back, Greek mythology, Greek here. There was a man called Pericles, very wise man. So Athens and Sparta were fighting. Pericles was worshipping a goddess called Athena. Athena is the god of war in Greece. Now, Pericles was telling them that, you these guys in Athens, because Sparta is small, don't just go and attack them like that. To relax, strategize. Like, no, we're going to attack them, we're going this, we're going that. Now, Sparta is smaller, but they are military, what's it called, people. Everyone there knows how to fight. They kept on fighting and fighting and fighting till Athens lost all their resources. Sparta won the war, and Sparta was the one that was doing the negotiation on the table. So to all of you, or to you and I that are thinking that change can come through, let's scatter everywhere. No. If you scatter everywhere, you still come and sit down and agree to disagree. We can talk about all of these things, but I want Nigerians to understand that the change starts with me and you. The change starts with me and you. If we want Nigeria to be better, let us love Nigeria. Let us love Nigeria first. Can you turn, let's see, because Daddy Freeze, for example, we have 551 people here. If you're Nigerians, for example, can you tell me that you've never ever come in contact with corruption before?
Oh, we
in Nigeria?
I have.
Can anybody here hit their chest and say, I have never ever come in contact, either I'm giving the corruption or I'm taking the corruption? NEPA wants to cut your lights. You have not paid your bill. Please, 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 take 1,000. Don't cut my lights. You go to Ikoyi registry. Ikoyi registry, they might tell you that you should go and pay into someone's account, because they said there was an article that came out 2 years ago. They said those guys make like 5 million naira a day in Ikoyi registry alone. Ikoyi registry alone. These people, somebody said I have not. Special center, is that not part of last man cash you? Are they not supposed to impound your car or something, or give you tickets to go and pay? You say, please take, police officer take, last man take. Every single thing that we do in the country is like corruption, and it's endemic with corruption. It's endemic. It's an endema. Pardon me if that English is correct or something is wrong. Please pardon me.
You know what? I'm going to open up. I have to open up the phone line so other people
No
can.
problem.
Two things I wanted to say. Talking about Sparta versus Athens. I think I need to do a preaching on that separately. You see, in Athens, they worship the god of war. Sparta was a small country where their smallest child was a warrior.
Yes.
Sparta practiced war.
Daddy, please, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Athens worshipped war. At the end of the day, Athens had to surrender to Sparta.
Yes. You have 333 BC or something.
Those that worship the god of war had to surrender to those who knew how to fight war.
I understand the psychology here. Daddy, please, I understand the psychology here. I get the psychology here now. I got it.
I need to actually do a whole preaching on this. Nigerians pray to God to bless them with money. Those that have money don't pray to any God.
No.
They don't pray to any. The countries that do not have churches on every street are the countries that are blessed. The ones that have 5 churches on every street are the ones praying for blessings. Stop being like Athens. Start being like Sparta. Anything you want in this life, go and get it. That's topic 1 that I want to raise out of what you said. I'm actually going to dedicate, I might even dedicate this whole Sunday to Sparta versus. You guys need to sit down and start picking out the sense in it. Number 2, hey, we are colonized. Oh, we are colonized. That is why we can never do well. Let me tell you, until World War II, Singapore was a British colony that was now invaded by Japan after the Second. Go and read your history. You read this Bible that you don't understand. Let me tell you something. I don't sit down and read English Bible. I studied. New Testament was written originally in Koine Greek. I went to find Koine Greek tutor, not Greek tutor, Koine Greek tutor to sit down and explain the book to me. Koine Greek, biblical scholars. Then when you are done with Koine Greek, before you jump to English, you have to find a Latin tutor to understand, okay, when they were moving this Bible from Greek to Latin.
Transliteration.
Then you now need to study the history of Christ, who was a Hebrew man whose native tongue was Aramaic. So understanding Hebrew, Aramaic, Greek, Latin, then you can now come to the thwarted English Bible that they have bent to suit their political manifestos and ideology. You pick up hold on, bro. Let me finish this. You pick up that book, you never line it up with history. History is recorded, you dingbats. History is recorded. There are records. I was telling somebody today, I said, Osinachi is testimony that Nigeria's God does not work. Osinachi was in a bad marriage. They prayed. Prayer could not fix it. They fasted. Fasting could not fix it. One of the biggest geos in Nigeria was her daddy in the Lord. The marriage still ended badly. Then she became sick. Prayer could not fix it. The fasting could not fix it. Her geo daddy in the Lord, who was one of the biggest, could not fix it. And then she died. She could not be resurrected. Her prayers, fasting, geo, none of them could fix it. Stop looking at the imaginary testimonies in your feeble minds that are polluted by ignorance, and look at Osina and tell me why prayer did not fix her marriage. Tell me why prayer did not cure her sickness. Tell me why prayer did not raise her from the dead. That's when you know you are praying to the wrong God, because you have no understanding of what's going on. You will come to the table and argue and say, Nigeria was colonized by the British. So was Singapore. Today, the Singaporean passport is the second most powerful passport in the world. As a matter of fact, more powerful than the British passport. Britain will colonize Singapore. Singapore today, their passport strong past British passport. Do your research. Do not take my word for it. While Ethiopia was never colonized, how much better is Ethiopia than Nigeria? It has nothing to do with colony. Singapore was colonized by the same people that colonized us. Why did they fix themselves? Why are we in the rut? Stop creating a pity party around your situation. Your situation is bad. You know who you need to hold? Go home and lock your parents' shirts and ask them.
Exactly.
Go and ask. While they are in Singapore, we're building nations. While their mates in China were creating economy, they were mating like animals and reproducing like hedgehogs. Go and ask your parents. Those are the people. Forget your leaders. What did your parents do? Hey, we're not educated. Let me break your heart here. My mother's country, Romania, Google this. In 1960, Romania's population was 18 million. In 2022, Romania's population is 19 million. In the same time frame, Nigeria more than quadrupled. Romania only got 10%, less than 10% growth in population.
It's over 400%. Nigeria is over 400%.
Romania could not get a full 10% because 10% of 18 million is 1.8 million. Romania grew 1 million. In the same time frame, Nigeria grew 400 million. Let me tell you what your problem is. Your problem is your mind. The Bible tells you to go and multiply because you don't understand what that book was saying. You have ignorant thieves who will make money off your prayers. You have them interpret a book to you. They will tell you that this is what God said, and you will go and obey ignorant people, and the result is catastrophic. Let me tell you something. I was having a conversation with my kids. I said, you people better go and start having one child.
I agree.
Everybody, grandparents, oh, you are running mad. I thought about it. Do you know my mother? My mother, not me. My mother has only one brother. In Romania, during my mother's time, now one picking, two picking that they born. During my mother's time, my mother gets only one brother. Now, all my cousins in Romania, every single one of them, I no get cousin where their papa born 3 children. Is either 1 or 2. I start calling their names. Teona and Taisia, 2 of them. Aline and Marcia, 2 of them. Gina and Darian, 2 of them. As in Adina, single child. All my cousins in Romania, now one picking, I no get cousin where they be 3. Meanwhile, you having not people from my own generation, not be my mama generation, no. People from my own here in Nigeria have 4 children.
Daddy Freeze, let me give you that stat. In northern Nigeria, the fertility rate of a woman is over 7. One woman births 7 children. In southern Nigeria, I think it's over 4. So I think averagely, Nigeria, one woman is doing around 5. Averagely. And then, the most fertile women in Nigeria are from Sokoto State. Now, guess the poorest state in Nigeria that has over 80% people that are under the poverty line in Nigeria.
Sokoto State.
Number 1 is sitting down like this with their full chest. They begin to look at Jigawa, Yobe. You begin to look at Adamawa. No, you begin to look at Ebonyi. Ebonyi too is there. You see, that is where religion comes in. Because in the north, predominantly is Islam. However, you have lots of Christians in the north. A lot of people think that the north just contains only Muslims. No, there are a lot of Christians in the north also. But let me stick to Islam, for example. Islam says you can marry up to 4 wives. They will maximize the 4 wives. Now, let me tell you something. Federal government gave farmers money, like CBN, maybe to buy fertilizers, to do this, to do that. You collect that money, you guys to go and marry a new wife. And when you marry a new wife, more children. You see, countries that progress, they have a control on their religion. And now, who do you blame for this, Daddy Freeze? According to our constitution, the government responsible, the arm of government actually responsible for this is your local government. The local government is in charge of family planning. How many people know this? It is enshrined in our constitution. It is enshrined in our constitution. The local governments are in charge of your primary health care and family planning. So when you go to those primary health cares, you always see them talking about family planning and all those things. But you don't even know their roles.
That is freeze.
Hey. Good evening, my sister.
Good evening.
Today, people say China is big and progressive. Now, see, population may not be an issue if the people have value. That's when you talk about human capital development. Now, our education in Nigeria, formal, let me talk about formal here, is very, very poor and lagging. Out of school children, that means children that have never been to the four walls of a formal school in Nigeria is about 16 million. 16 million. That in itself begins to create issues when it comes to insecurity, crime. Now, these kids, unemployment. I'm talking of people that did not even get to the four walls. There was something that came out recently that the freeze, I think a stat that came out, like in Kebbi State or one of those northern states, they had maybe only 7 people that wrote NECO common entrance or something like that. Maybe between 7 or 42 or something like that. So the population you are having is not adding value. And that's why I said that when I came, the last time I came on, or two, I think the previous time, not the last time, I think a while back that I came on your live, I said the productivity of a Nigerian is 74 cents per day. So that is inclusive of the people that are intellectual, the people that are non-intellectual. You put all of them in a basket, you mix mash them. Now, in the first quarter of 2022, to show how dire our situation is, our exports, someone said 42. Yes, I said the 42. In Kebbi State, our exports was about 90%, 89.9% crude oil. 2.8% was agriculture. Then gas and energy.
Susan Peters was trying to get your attention. I think.
Who was trying to get my attention?
Susan Peters.
Yes, I'm trying to bring her on.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Now, no, that's fine, my sister. Yeah. Then energy and other gas resources is like 5%. That if we only 3% was manufacturing. 3.08 in first quarter of 2022. Only 3%. So that means you get raw materials. We sell raw materials out to raw material like 3%. So you get raw materials, you process it, you finish the goods, and you say that's how people get what is called employment. Manufacturing means employment. Hello.
Susan, how are you, my
sister?
Greetings.
Yeah, so those things means employment. So that is where the human capital, okay, that if there's this idea that comes into my head. I hope that Nigeria, maybe I can talk to somebody that is in power or something. I've been thinking about this thing for years. We all know in this world that we have this food crisis, food insecurity, especially in Nigeria. Now, we have musicians that are doing bigger and great things with Afrobeats and all that. Why can't they be advocate for Gary? Now, people might look at me like I'm crazy. Now, this is where I'm going.
Sorry, I have a question.
For you to strengthen, I'm coming, ma'am. For you to strengthen your currency has to be backed by a commodity. What commodity is being traded with the Naira? Now, flour has gone up because of the war between Russia and Ukraine. So all your flour products, Indomie, bread, cake, pasta is going up. Now remember that during Jonathan's time, they were talking about cassava bread. Now imagine with the cassava, you are able to put some additional nutrients to it. You begin to sell that in the world market. Now you will put rural area people in rural areas making the cassava. They will stay there is work. You get your people in Nigeria, for example, in the urban areas, you can create those, those factories there, those manufacturing industries there. You create them there and you begin to produce. You are solving world problems. Now, I'm going to Nigeria, by the way. I'm going to do politics in Nigeria, by the way, in the nearest future. Okay, guys, don't worry. I'll come and solve Nigeria's problems. I love Nigeria.
talk. You have done so well. I always love bringing you on. It's just that I'm exhausted today, so I don't have.
I see that.
No problem.
So
Can
I'm going
I
to
ask you a question, Daddy Freeze, please?
go ahead.
You talked about the Nigerian population.
Yes,
To
ma'am.
me, honestly, I don't think that's a major problem. There is a lot of looting. We hear of billions of naira. We hear of looting everywhere. We hear of stealing everywhere. Do you think the money that they're actually investing abroad cannot take care of our population? I don't think so.
It can't.
It can't?
It can't.
No, my sister, let me tell you something. Okay.
Sorry to answer that. Nigeria is not as rich as we think it is.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
By our parents, they told, you see, they are stealing. The little that is available is not going round. But to imagine that Nigeria is as wealthy as Qatar or Kuwait or Saudi Arabia or all those oil nations is us being silly. These countries have a population of 50 million, some 10 million, some 5 million. Let me tell you, Kuwait has less than the population of Lagos and 4 times oil capacity of Nigeria. Those are wealthy nations. You need to understand that our wealth, if well used in 1960, would have made us rich today. Because out of that crude oil, we would have done what UAE did. They built a tourism industry. So even though they're still wealthy with regards to oil, they have other things they've used the oil money to create, which is fetching them more revenue than oil. Saudi Arabia is one of the richest oil nations on earth, but majority of their money comes in from tourism. Do you realize?
I do not.
Israel.
The Hajj.
Every year, the amount of money they generate from Hajj is bewildering. But guess what? They have more oil than Africa, only Saudi. So this rich nation, Nigeria does not even have a supergiant oil field. The only African country that had a supergiant oil field was Libya. Saudi has supergiant. Kuwait has supergiant. What am I saying at the end of the day is we're not a poor nation, or now we are a poor nation. We were not a poor nation initially. Look at our GDP.
Some people are getting poorer, some are getting richer.
You see, it is still an illusion. 1%.
Everybody's getting poorer.
1% is getting richer. 99% is getting poorer. Those resources cannot be evenly distributed. Let me tell you how you evenly distribute resources. By creating power. Sorry, by fixing power, the power sector. Just go and look at the model Singapore followed in 1965 when they gained independence. They went for modernization, industrialization, education, housing, and development. Those were the 5 pillars. If Nigeria had gone on this, today would have been as good as, if not better than, Singapore. But what we did was too much internal conflict. If the oil bunkerers are not fighting the government, the herdsmen are fighting the government. The Boko Haram is fighting the government is fighting the government, IPOB is fighting the government. There is very little room for development because there is so much time and resources dedicated either to conflict or to conflict resolution.
Agreed.
So we are not wealthy. Now we are poor. 10, 15 years ago, we were not poor, but we should never be under the illusion that we are a rich nation. Susan, what do you have?
The other guy has gone off. I just wanted to correct some notion.
Okay.
Like you said earlier, in the 70s, the Naira had serious value. We are among the 70s children. So it had a lot of value, and it's so sad that now it doesn't have value. Then again, he mentioned something about Nigerians not having, being Nigerians, all Nigerians are corrupt. I disagree, because I'll be among the 1%, let me say, that are not corrupt. Because I come out and I say it as it is. I don't lick bottoms. Let me put it that way. if something is wrong, it's wrong. If the government comes at me, I come at them. They know that. So for him to say all Nigerians are corrupt, that's a lie. That's not the solution. Even with the 1% that are not corrupt, you are still having issues, because when we talk, they will still cover us up or sideline us from certain things, or not put us in certain things because we are saying the truth. So the problem is, how do we solve it? How do we solve it? We generally do not even love each other as Nigerians.
That is, Susan.
Yes.
You just nailed it. That is Christianity failed.
That's the major.
Because the essence of Christianity is love your neighbor as yourself. If you read
yourself, exactly. We don't love each other. With somebody go just wake up and get beef for you waking up, or you remaining the same for years, and you see questions like, how is she like this for years? She's not getting gray hair. She's already old. What?
Did you hear what Ellen Post said on a live video a few days ago, on your live video that the freeze? And she said some people were writing the school where she got where she was confirmed as a PhD from Nigeria. People were writing the school that how did she do it? If you remember, maybe you forgot. Yeah, like people were writing writing the school from Nigeria, questioning the morality behind her getting I don't know how she was converted to being a professor thereabout in the US. And she said the letters were coming from Nigeria and they were updating her. Okay, see, we got this one again. That's the thing. People are just so, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the love yourself, you love your neighbor as yourself. It doesn't work in Nigeria, honestly. You see these same people, they travel abroad.
Christianity has what Nigerians, when I say Christianity has failed, what Nigerians understand Christianity is waking up at 7 a.m. to do fire prayer. That's not Christianity.
Exactly. And I see that thing disturbs me. You see people sending you broadcasts. That is not
if you decide to never pray again from today till the day that you die, you can still be. If you decide to never fast again from today till the day that you die, you can be a good Christian. If you can decide never to go to church.
Christianity from the heart is not about cutting down fire and brimstone.
These are undisputed facts. If you decide that you will never go to any church, join any gathering, or join any brotherhood, you can still make heaven and you still be a Christian. Because if you narrow yourself down to Matthew chapter 25, 31 to 41, Luke chapter 10 from verse 25, Christ said when he comes, the people who he will harvest to God's kingdom are those who fed him when he was hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those clothed him when he was naked, visited him in hospital, and those who helped. And they will ask him, said, how did we do this? Each time you did it to the least of your brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me. And if you read that scripture in the original language was written, it says, he will gather all the nations. The correct translation, pantata ethne in Greek, all the ethnic groups in the whole world. And he will judge them according to not whether they are Christians or not whether they have Holy Spirit or not whether they gave up their life or not whether they joined nonsense 7 a.m. buffoonery or not. They will be judged according to how they loved. Luke chapter 10 speaks on the Good Samaritan. Christ clearly defined how religion fails in that, but nobody understands it. He said the priest walked past.
Luke 10.
The Levi walked past and looked away, but a despised Samaritan, a Samaritan whom the Jews do not even believe will make heaven, was the.
But Daddy Freeze, let me ask this question. I mean, I'm really impressed with the amount of youths coming out to get PVCs. I did revalidation before I left Nigeria, and when I return, definitely I'm going to go vote. And I've been posting on my page for a while now. I said we are tired of recycled beans. These human beings they don't serve up tire. They are already old. We don't tire. We don't want them again. I've been screaming that on my page. Now, I just want to ask this question. Do you think that with this movement or this chanting, will it still work to help us have this change? Would they not still sabotage the the efforts of people coming out now, because people I
We
guess a lot of
pray it
people,
works. We pray it works.
even the Christians, the Muslims, the traditional people, everybody is tired
Now,
of recycling things. But
now,
my question is, will
now,
they still
you
allow people and
understand?
not hire those what they call them now, area boys, to come and scatter? Or will they allow people? Because now, right now, some people at some polling places are saying that they don't allow them to get PVCs, and I'm wondering why.
Let me give you an example, Susan, to answer your question. If you saw a dead rat, what would you do?
Sweep it away.
Would you want to keep it?
Never.
Would you want to play with it?
At all.
Good. You see, there are animals, however, that dead rat is food for. Flies. They will come there, they will lay their eggs, hatch their maggots. Roaches, bacteria. You see, that rot is feeding frenzy for them. That thing that you are looking at saying, the dead rats will attract flies from a kilometer away. They will be smelling and coming. The problem is not the flies. The problem is the rot. Do not allow the rot to exist. And that way there will be no food for the flies. As long as the rot in society exists, those who like the rot will not let you take it away because that's their food. They will fight you. They will do everything to make sure that rot is there because they're only in the Sabi chop.
So we need aggressive sanitization. How do we do it?
That's
the point.
the major.
It starts in the mind. Identify first that there's a problem. The answer will come to you. Look at Peter Obi. I'm not saying this because I support Peter Obi. As a matter of fact, I'm open even to Tinubu. But I want to draw an example from Peter Obi. Peter Obi has not paid 50 copies to anybody for advertisement. Celebs have people have taken. One guy went to barb Peter Obi on his. What am I trying to say? When the revolution hits you, no need to fight. You and the person beside you, we hear the same voice inside your spirit, even though the two languages.
Absolutely.
God will say, Moses, take off your shoe. Hausa man hear him for Hausa. Igbo man go hear him for Igbo. Yoruba man go hear him for Yoruba. And the three of them will do exactly the same thing. Why? Because something has been awakened inside their spirit.
Exactly.
This Peter Obi is the beginning of it.
If you allow him.
He might become president. But one thing I want you to know is Nigeria is waking up.
Amen.
Moment we are awake, able to tell a dead rat.
No longer slumber again. No slumber again.
But
thank you for adding me. Sorry, guys. Daddy, thank you for adding me.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
My name is Franklin. I'm one of your early followers, not today. And I live in Canada. I've messaged you a few times. The last time you came to Canada, I messaged you, but I didn't respond. But anyway, it's fine. First of all, I want us to correct something. You said something earlier, which I support 100%. When we understand the way systems work outside Nigeria, we will know whether Nigeria is a rich country or a poor nation. If you live in a bubble and you don't go outside of your bubble to understand how things operate in different places, you will not really have a balanced view of what you're talking about. That is one. In my own understanding, Nigeria is not a poor country, not a very poor country, but Nigeria is a poor country. But that's not our conversation. The other thing I was going to talk about is, you talked about we doing the right thing. The first thing first, as Nigerians, is loving the country. What you can do for your country, not what your country can do. Everywhere in the world that is developed today, people paid sacrifices for those places. A lot of people did a lot of things to make their country comfortable. People paid with their lives, knowing that they will not benefit, knowing that their family will not benefit directly from it. But as a country, the country will benefit from it. So when we do something for our nation selflessly, it doesn't matter what it is or whatever it is. I'll give an example. When I first came to Canada about 11 years ago, I was driving from work going home, and I got a flat tire. So I had to pull into a gas pipeline area, and it's written there boldly, restricted area, no trespass and things like that. But I didn't have anywhere to stop. It was on the highway. That was the only place I could park. And it was in the winter. There was a lot of snow. And then I pulled over trying to change my tires, but because there was lots of snow, the jack kept sinking in the snow. Luckily or unfortunately, a cop pulled over just behind me. The moment I saw him, I'm done, because I was very new in the country. Oh, I'm done. I haven't got my papers then and everything. I was scared. Is he going to give me tickets? I haven't gotten a ticket before. I just got my license less than a year ago and all that. So he actually came, rolled off his sleeve, and helped me and asked me to go sit in his car to stay warm and helped me change my tires. I was so shocked. That was the first shock that I actually experienced here. Okay, so now, if you were to be in some other places.
Did he give you a ticket? Because usually they will offer
No,
you, they would love you, and they will give you a ticket.
No, he actually changed my tires for me.
Wow.
Helped me, asked me to stay in his vehicle to get warm. And then, after changing my tires, he escorted me to a point that I was safe, and then he drove off. Okay, that is how people who like their country behave. I'm black, he's white. So there is no familiarity there from anywhere.
An exception. If you had met somebody who's really racist,
because
it was close. People were driving past. I called a couple of friends.
Really racist.
He was just being nice. Like what you did. Yeah, they will help you.
Yes, no. Let me tell you, it depends. It depends. Ask people who live in this country. It depends on where you are. It's different here.
I'm in Canada. I know what I'm saying. They will offer to help. They will, keep you safe. But then they are still going to give you the ticket. They will be friendly, But they are still going to.
What is wrong with that?
No. They didn't give him a ticket. So we are just talking. Maybe that he was just lucky.
Wrong place. But if you break down the wrong place, they should give you a ticket. Why should
That's what I'm saying. He was just lucky. He was just lucky.
No. My car broke down. I didn't just pull over for fun to make a call or something. My car broke down, and it was in the middle of cold.
Okay.
You understand? But anyway, some other person might give a ticket, but I can easily go to court and contest.
That's the point.
Yeah, they will.
Might give you a ticket. You were just lucky. They didn't give you a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, and similar, a lot of people have experienced similar situations. But the point I'm trying to make is, we should learn to help people without getting something in return.
Yes.
That's the point. You learn to do something in such a way that you are helping somebody, and as a collective responsibility, you are helping everybody, including yourself. You understand? If we have that culture, that habit of helping one another in the main purpose of helping everybody, with the intention of helping everybody, we will get a better society. But everybody wants to.
I disagree with you, sir, because even on this life, Daddy Freeze himself, he has been doing a lot for a lot of people. Me, myself, Susan Peters, I've been doing a lot for a lot of people that I do not know. So if we can have everybody do the same, it will work. But when you have 1% doing it, it will not be enough. It won't go.
So how do we get everybody? We'll show them. Some people don't know.
That is what that's the
dilemma. No, it's not an easy process. For example, if we're having a political conversation, I always say something. I'm going to say it that if please permit me to say this on your life. The first person after the military era, the first person that had the opportunity to fix Nigeria was Obasanjo. We had Oputa panel. He flushed the report under the drain. That was the perfect time to get Nigeria back on its track. Everybody was excited 1999 when he came in, and he missed it. We had another person, Jonathan. Jonathan had the opportunity, and he also missed it. Now it has happened again. But the best opportunity was Obasanjo. But the reason why he didn't do it, because Everybody's thinking about his own self. Who
No,
will protect me after I leave?
I disagree
If you
with
make
you.
it,
This thing is gradual, my brother. Nobody can fix that country in 8 years. Peter Obi cannot
you
do
live in
wonders
Canada.
and fix
What
it in
province
8
do you live
years.
in? What province do you live in, madam?
I'm in Saskatchewan. Nobody can fix that country in 8 years. Trust me, bro. It's a
Everybody.
process. It's a process.
The
Nobody.
body language of a leader significantly determines how everybody reacts. If a leader is seen to be upright and perceived to be doing the right thing, the people following him will key in. We have laws in Nigeria, but those who are supposed to obey the law, who are supposed to enforce the law, are actually those who are breaking it. What do you expect others to do?
Well, you saw the funny thing is, these same people come abroad and they keep the law. So
Exactly.
I think what we need is, I mean, generally, not because my dad used to be in the military. Me, I preferred military regime because my team are law and order, discipline all the time. I think there's more lawlessness now that we are now democratic nation. The lawlessness has gone overboard because during military regime, you dare not. There are some certain things you cannot do, like drink something, finish, throw it on the road or something. I think there was this governor, is it Marwa? I can't remember. That was governor of Lagos State. Abi that the freeze. Do you remember?
Yes.
The kind of he sanitized is it Marwa?
Yes.
You know,
Madam, the problem we have today is as a result of military. That's the problem we have
Please
today.
don't forget our Kelly's issue.
We have to do that tomorrow.
Okay.
We have to do R. Kelly tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I need to close now.
I know you're tired.
Let me thank you so much for coming live. Susan Peters, thank you. You have contributed immensely, not just to this program, but to the society, especially helping out the privileged in all you do. And may you continue to be an advocate for a better Nigeria.
Thank you, Daddy Freeze. I appreciate your immense contribution. A lot of people don't know that, but this is your life. They teach
a lot, like,
because there are some certain things that even me myself, even with the research and everything, there are some certain things that is when I come to this your life that I'll pinch myself and write it on my skin and be like, yeah. So this thing actually it's you know. So I'm indeed glad. I'm just happy that this is a platform you're using to bless others, and keep doing it too, because
That the face always hits the nail on the head.
Yeah.
He don't sugarcoat anything.
You know,
I
told you, I said people might not agree with you on the live video in the comments, but they go back, they make research, they ask questions. So you're doing a fantastic job, and
you've enlightened us a lot about Christianity, about being a Christian, about being a lukewarm Christian, and all of that. And I really appreciate it. But my take home for me today will be this: your Spartan lecture. You say you will do it tomorrow.
You need to listen to it.
On Sunday, because I'll do it on Sunday, because I actually dedicate it and show you that you cannot pray war. If you want to go to war, you have to fight war. That is why the countries that are best at football, they don't pray before they play. They go there and they play the game. So we're going to have to deal with that. Thank you so much, Susan. By the way, Bukola, it's because of that's why I brought you here primarily. My dear brother, thank you so much. God bless you. Frank De Niro, thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daddy.
My other brother that was with us at the very beginning, I love that gentleman. He's always Bongoli. He's always filled with facts, and he always knows how to, analyze situations from a fact.
You don't talk to Webster Dictionary.
Perspective. So thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Susan Peter.
Thank you, Daddy Freeze.
Thank you,
please keep doing what you're doing, Daddy Freeze. People are listening. People are getting the message. People are getting the message. Continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know they criticize you a lot, but keep doing what you are.
Sometimes when you hear it more than once, you hear it and hear it and hear it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.